Today on Bell and the Birdmen, the rift between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Also, your new starting quarterback, Russell Wilson, coming in 2022. And the NFL needs a little more soap opera. It's all coming up on Bell and the Birdmen, coming from Last Out Media Studios. But first, Taylor, hit the music!
What's going on, Philadelphia? Hello, everybody. It is Bell and the Birdmen. It is presented to you by Liquid Death. And, man, we have got a jam-packed week full of stuff. It's been a 10-day layoff, and I know Vince Quinn's been hitting the donuts. I certainly have been, too. So we need to get back into game shape here. Liquid Death is going to help us do that. Actually, Vince is going to convince you to go get Russell Wilson later on in the show. We have got some exciting news regarding the tiers, and we have got T-shirts coming and all that. But Vince Quinn, first and foremost, I would like to start with this. It is pretty clear to me that Jalen Hurts doesn't like Nick Sirianni. Would you agree or disagree this far during the week?
Well, John, first thing, it's Ben and Jerry's ice cream, not donuts. That's been my weakness this week. I've been piling up on that. But two,
yeah, but more importantly, which kind?
Oh my God, it's like this peanut butter brownie mix thing. It should be illegal. But to your point about Jalen Hurts, if I'm Jalen Hurts, I don't like Nick Sirianni. Why on earth would I like Nick Sirianni? Why would I trust him? Why would I believe in him? Because think about it. This is a guy with no track record that comes in and has no offensive identity whatsoever. If I'm Jalen Hurts, my career depends on Nick Sirianni doing a good job. Like, if we were doing this show and I just had nothing but, I don't know, I was talking about the Cleveland Browns all the time, and like it was totally disorganized. We talked about them a little bit, but if that was the whole show all the time and that's all I did, you'd be like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, we're trying to do something here. This is ridiculous. So that's kind of where Jalen Hurts is. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next week you get a story that there's a rift between those two. What does he have the opportunity to do? Like, we talked about this a little bit before the show. Has anything changed with Jalen Hurts from last year, the end of last season, to now? Because I haven't learned anything new.
No, not in this offense. No. In two offenses now, we don't really know what Jalen Hurts is because the one leaving no one cared about, and this one, it's not really functional, you know. And Matt Maratea, by the way, great article in the newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to that already, please go and do so right in the description of the podcast. But, you know, very much pointing out and expanding on, I believe, Mike Kay's piece where the Eagles are actually almost average in terms of run-to-pass ratio. Can you believe that?
It's insane.
Almost average. So I keep looking at, and I think Howie's done this too, and maybe even Nick Sirianni's doing this or trying to form what Howie wants, or I don't know, but they're trying to force this weird air raid system because they're in love with it. They don't have the horses to quite do it yet with the wide receiving core, and we know that too. And Jalen Hurts has 1 year to prove that he can continue on this journey to whoever. And I think we can debate on if they're actually helping him do that, which is also really weird that no one's really shouted that out a lot. The offense, I think, is pretty well equipped, but the scheme is not, as Vince is saying here, it's not featuring what Jalen Hurts does best right now. It's almost as if this is like a preseason season and they're just going, just throw the ball, just throw the ball. At least that's what it is in our heads. But, you know, if this is the way that the league is going, then I don't think Nick Sirianni needs to call any more runs or get Jalen Hurts going in a different way. I just think he needs to utilize what he's actually fantastic at.
Yes.
And that has not happened whatsoever. So the more and more this continues, and everyone keeps using the buzzword that Vince has said already, identity. They need to find an identity.
Yeah, damn right they
do. Identity. Jalen Hurts said that from the press conference. It hasn't stopped. You know what everyone's saying when they say identity? Sucks. It sucks. That's what Jalen Hurts is saying. Coach, this offense sucks. Because that's the nice way to say things around the NFL. And when you're trying to be buddy-buddy with the media and all this other stuff, like, it kills me to see my timeline just sprawling with like, it's not real. Jalen Hurts said one statement and everyone's repeated it for 10 days. And no one just wants to come out and say the offense sucks. Jalen Hurts thinks the offense sucks. And everyone else does. Everyone agrees with this. So who doesn't? Nick Sirianni is probably the only guy. Howie Roseman can't like this either, right?
No.
But the divide's coming if it's not already there. Like you're starting to, you cannot do this to this kid in his only shot at becoming a franchise quarterback, at least this first big opportunity. You're not helping him whatsoever.
Well, and the locker room likes him. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They're wearing his hats and vouching for this guy, and that's why in the preseason, we were completely on board with all this and such big believers in the team. They were rallying around Jalen Hurts. That's exciting. Like, that's good. So if it gets to a point where the locker room is choosing between Jalen Hurts, the young, talented quarterback that people like that can't audible out of plays, and the offense sucks right now, if you have to choose between him or Nick Sirianni, who's got no track record, he's wearing all the goofy shirts all the time, which is not translating well. And
by the way, if you still have a goofy shirt recommendation, 215-509-5833. It is our text line. We love talking ball there, and we definitely want to send a goofy shirt to Sirianni before it's too late.
Yeah, I might have to say stop saying talking ball, by the way, as a protest of Nick Sirianni. But that's the thing is you look at the team, and for all the stuff we thought of chemistry, it's more Hurts related than it is Sirianni related.
Yeah.
So if there's a divide here, the locker room's going to go to Hurts. But the thing is, management is not with Hurts. So trying to figure out what's going to actually happen there when you get that kind of split is really strange. But right now, it just feels like it's a matter of time before the players and really Jalen Hurts especially goes against Nick Sirianni publicly.
Yeah. I don't even think that's going to happen. I really don't think Jalen Hurts is going to make this a Ben Simmons situation or anything like that. We'll save that for the end too. I just don't know how you get around this, and I'm not sure what kind of steps you should take with QB and coach to make this, one, offense a little bit more functional, and two, we're not trying to create any drama, but like there's only one way this ship goes if the quarterback keeps coming up to every press conference saying, we're still trying to find our identity. We're so close. We're this, we're that. Everybody's kind of looking for results. And maybe I need to start really retracting some Miles Sanders slander, at this point too, because if it is the coach doing all this stuff and making everyone very confused, everyone seems very confused. It's what we went through in the post game. The offense seems to function a lot better when its hair is on fire and its back is up against the wall, and mainly because the defense is playing soft too. Yeah. So I do think the Sirianni is without a doubt one of the biggest problems moving forward, and it just makes me thinking that they're heading towards the Vince Quinn. I'm not even going to call it tinfoil anymore. Theory.
Whoa, we've graduated. Hey now.
Take the tin off. It's a theory at this point.
It's a felt
hat
theory.
It just keeps looking as if someone is getting cornered here. The quarterback, the coach and what he's able to call. And I'll even say this because now that we've touched on Ertz and Goddard as tight end one here, if the offense doesn't shift dramatically and start highlighting guys like Dallas Goedert, something's up. That's my... Because where again was the support for this kid? Where is directly get the hands out, or get the ball in the hands of proven playmakers already? A guy that you supposedly are ready to pay over Zach Ertz and all that. If he is not featured heavily in this offense over the next 4 or 5 weeks, something is up.
Well,
that's why I say we can start calling it a theory here, Vince Quinn.
Well, yeah, all the conspiracy stuff, and credit to Matt talking about Dallas Goedert a little bit also in the newsletter.
There you go, Matt.
And Dallas Goedert should be a little bit worried because he's trying to get that big payday, and it's probably not going to happen with the Eagles the way things are trending. So you see all that. But with the offense, again, like the identity stuff and Jalen Hurts and why he should be agitated, I laid this out, week 2, week 3? There's a standard offense that every young quarterback should go through. It's just there. There's a clear roadmap. You run the ball a good bit. You have short, easy throws over the middle. I got to really emphasize that. And then you take certain deep shots and you let your guy run a little bit. So that's what it's supposed to be. And also, again, building around your quarterback and using his skill set, right? The league is trending towards passing more. 100% right. But also, Lamar Jackson exists. You know, when an organization goes out of their way to build around a quarterback and his skill set and really max out that roster, it can be pretty damn good. I mean, we're in year 4 now of the Lamar Jackson experience.
Yeah.
He's getting better as a passer. He's making that leap right now. So he's an MVP again. You know what I mean? Like, they've built that team. They've let him grow. He's gotten stronger. Jalen Hurts, they're not doing any of that. And again, you're just left with all these questions when he doesn't look any better. But also, I can't say he looks any worse than he did last year.
Yeah.
I just think it's completely incomplete, which is so frustrating.
Well, and to the point of the over-the-middle stuff, because we've only seen throw over the middle, I think, completed successfully, and that was against the Bucs. And there you go. Vince Quinn just knocking. See, he's so disgusted with his offense. He's knocking my camera out of view, and he doesn't know how mirrors work either.
Yeah, fuck you, John.
But like, we're getting to a Mitch Trubisky's not throwing to his left type of conspiracy with Jalen Hurts in that too.
He's Zoolander?
I don't know if he's Zoolander, but man, he's not an idiot. He knows maybe he can't anticipate it, you know, but let's actually see it then. You've got to. That's the other thing I am demanding this week from either coach or quarterback. Please, God, just throw over the middle to Dallas Goedert for 10 times in a row. If you're gonna run the same bubble screens 10 times in a row, then do it to Dallas Goedert 10 times in a row. I don't care. I just want to be disproven that this kid can't throw over the middle.
Agreed.
Because it is so frustrating to see every other great offense operate right in that spot, and that's where most first downs are had, most huge plays are had, most of everything, and yet, like, you're giving this kid the smallest win. You're actually harming him, I think, by just stick to the outside, just stick to the deep shots in the sidelines. How on earth can you improve your accuracy at all? And that's still, there's a lot of Jalen in this too. It's not completely 1,000% on coach, but Jalen's got to start hitting open wide receivers, and he's got to start recognizing that, you know, and maybe that's just the distrust that I believe is there, because that feels a lot like what's going on. Maybe it's just, I don't want this guy to screw up my opportunity, and I'm just going to stick and not make mistakes, and that's the best I can do right now. And you can't do that to your quarterback if you're trying to be competitive.
Well, Sirianni doesn't trust Hurts. That's definitely part of it. And for Hurts, how much can he trust the wide receivers? I mean, you're throwing to Jalen Reagor, who sucks.
It's a trust factor, everybody.
Yeah, he doesn't trust Jalen Reagor. There's no reason to. And then Quez Watkins, like, he throws that ball down the field to Quez Watkins, who makes one of the worst attempts at jumping up at a ball that you've ever seen, and he just gives away an interception. So when that's the people that you're dealing with, there is some reason to be hesitant, which is why, like, the easy stuff over the middle, setting picks and drag routes with Devontae Smith to let him catch a ball, go for 7 yards. It's a nice, easy completion on first down. Now you're dealing with 2nd and 3. Those are the things that the Eagles don't do. They're never on schedule. It's always 2nd and 10. It's always 2nd and 8. You know what I mean? Like, nothing makes it easy. Nothing builds the trust, and that's going to make him hesitant. You got to let this guy be confident, and there's nothing that allows him to do that.
And it's crazy because as we're talking about all this stuff, it does remind me of, like, maybe the other thing too. And shout out to Lane Johnson, before I forget, for really just coming out and just like his teammate and expressing, like Brandon Brooks, I meant to say, that he's also going through a lot of anxiety and depression and just needed to go take some time to figure out how to continue those challenges and so on and so on. I thought that was a great message to let everybody in. But having him back in here this week is positive news on the football field. And in 2016, I remember the moment he went out was for, I think it's his suspension at the time.
Yeah.
The entire offense did change. Now, it's not like, it's probably not as dramatic as that season, but man, Lane and Mailata being where they're supposed to be hasn't happened, I don't believe, since week 1, 2.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I think that will be a nice shift into the running game, hopefully, finally.
Finally.
A little bit, or at least like where we want to see it, not in the run the ball type of mentality, but yes, just go punch it into the goal line or whatever you got to do to get this team going. I think Lane Johnson this week does change a bunch of things on the offense. I hope to be proven right on that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so, but God, you just have no idea. It's like 10 days. This should be it. It's a big game for them, and whether or not they want to tank, and there's a lot of stuff with that. But, man, I don't trust Sirianni to change anything right now. For what? Like, what is he? What convinces me he's going to change anything? Like, he took a time when it first started to get bad for him. He stopped wearing the shirts. He did that for like 3 days, and then he got back to the same shit. You know what I mean? Like, I have no reason to believe anything changes. So
he's going to be a NASCAR freaking sponsorship hat by the time the season's done, right?
Well, yeah, and speaking of sponsorship hats, John.
Oh yes,
you've got a nice Liquid Death hat on there. I got to tell you,
and it is this is $30 because Liquid Death is even though it is crushing all over the map in terms of being wherever they need to be. They're in Live Nation. Everybody was saying how awesome it is that they were. Francisco was going like, hey, man, there is Liquid Death all over this. I don't know, really crappy band. I'm going to see. I don't know who it is. It's probably somebody bad. But
your music sucks.
Yeah,
that's from John.
But they're starting to get everywhere, and their merch is so limited that they don't hand these out for free. And I want to say I've paid $30 handsome for this Liquid Death hat you're either hearing or seeing or listening to or wherever you're kind of at here. But they give a shit about what goes in and what goes out as their branding. And everything that they do is infinitely way cooler than I could have come up with, including the most important thing, which is this 16.9 ounce beautiful mountain water from the Alps right in a can. It keeps it cooler than any plastic bottle you have right now. It keeps the environment a lot safer. And like I was saying last week, I can't wait for Halloween. It's the favorite time to do all this stuff. And honestly, just do it for the excitement at first, to hand out a crazy-looking can to little children with a flaming skull on it, and it just says Liquid Death, and have them hand it back to their parents. And, like, the reactions are priceless. It'll be my 3rd year in a row doing it and handing out. I'm going to film it. I encourage you to do it as well. But at the end of the day, we all need to drink water in a fun, fashionable way. This allows me to do it, and I drink way more water now that it is in Last Out Media Studios, in my personal fridge. Vince, the same thing. It's got bubbles. It's got flat. What's not to love about it? Give them your money, and we get to make more content. And you get a hell of a product in the end as well.
And also, for Halloween, you get all sorts of fun confusion. Like when you're handing out cans of Liquid Death, because everybody that I talk to with Liquid Death thinks it's malt liquor. Do parents think you're handing out malt liquor to children?
Or
is that exactly what happens?
The first immediate response is, I've just handed a beer to your child.
Yeah.
Or like, it is a sugary energy drink, and like, what are you doing? This could probably kill somebody. And then when they realize it's just water, it's like, it turns into a fantastic conversation piece, and you get to know your neighbor a little bit too.
Yeah.
So,
oh, it's such a nice Elsa costume. Here's a Colt 45. You know, it's
SpongeBob. Here's malt liquor for your basket there, pal. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then carry it around and freak other parents out as you're doing it too. If you're one of the trick or treaters that goes the whole distance with your kids for the hour and a half, and God bless you, to walk around with this. And keep maybe that little glass of wine in the thermos while you do it too. That's okay.
There you go. You can hang on to that as well.
That's what the water's for, and also very exciting. That is what Stefan Dungren, our good friend, created for us over at CarsonSnapTracker.com. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the evidence from the weekend. Carson Wentz is back after playing the Houston Texans. The Philadelphia Eagles made a mistake, and guess what? I couldn't care, because 98.72% of the snaps have been played.
Woo.
If they're ticking up and if they want to go face Derrick Henry and think they're a contender, God bless them. But Tennessee's back. Not worried about that. Carson looks relatively healthy. He's not actually throwing as much at all, in fact, and trusting his running game, a good defense, and let him continue to do it. First round picks coming. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz CarsonSnapTracker.com, presented by Stefan Dungren, Bell and the Birdmen, and Eagles Reddit. So I'm pumped for that.
Well, thank you again to Stefan. The whole tracker is amazing. But also amazing, John.
Yes.
Russell Wilson, Philadelphia Eagle. Okay? It's time to get on the train. It is time to get on the train. This season is about nothing more than evaluating your roster and seeing what you have to support Russell Wilson.
Okay? So
and I have a list.
Jalen Hurts already. And here comes the Russell Wilson plan from Vince Quinn.
Yes,
right.
Hurts is a part of this plan.
Oh,
we will get to that a little bit later. But I do have a list. And
I hope we get Geno Smith in the end. That's all I care about.
Oh, well, there we go. That's the true star. So, number one on the list, John. He's great. I mean, he's great. He's Russell Wilson. He's flat out great. Look at the stats every single year.
Great.
Touchdowns, the interceptions, absolutely. He'll have 35 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people always glamorize the 27-2. Russell Wilson does some degree of that every single year. And when you look through his stat lines for every single year, he's in the playoffs all the time. He's in Pro Bowls, and he's running the ball. He's doing it with very limited help, 1 or 2 options at wide receiver at best most years. No offensive line to speak of. Bad offensive coordinators. The guy is recession-proof. He is the safest bet you can possibly make. I mean, he's the same as gold as we get into recessions, John. He's gold. He's not Bitcoin. He's gold. So you invest in Russell Wilson. By the way, he's been healthy his whole career. His one injury now, this is the first time he's missing games in his whole career. It's an injury to his hand. It's not a knee injury. It's not a foot injury. It's not a back injury, a shoulder injury. It's a hand injury.
But Vince, he runs a lot. How's that possible?
Well, yeah, he runs a lot because that team is terrible, and he has to. And you know what? He
stays healthy. That's all.
He stays healthy. He keeps himself in great shape. And here's the other thing: we've
Avocados.
seen him do that so much. I'll believe it more with him than Brady. So with Russell Wilson, the other thing is we've seen him do this against the Eagles a million times. John, he's an Eagle killer. To get an Eagle killer and put him on the team would be awesome. Like you see this all the time. Every time Seattle's on the schedule, you just go, I don't know how, but they're going to lose this game. I think they're better in certain years, at least not this year. But you think like, hey, I think they're better, but they're just going to lose. It's Russell Wilson. It happens every single time. To get an Eagle killer on the team, you want that. And by the way, the rumors that the Eagles wanted to draft him, whether they're real or not.
Oh, they're real. They are fucking real as this table.
And I think they're real too.
I know they're real.
Well, good. Because it's time to complete the prophecy. It's time to bring him back. Because they've wanted him for so long. You look at Jalen Hurts, he's a younger version and a less talented version. And it's funny because Russell Wilson, 3rd-round pick, Jalen Hurts, 2nd-round pick. Like, he's
always
this
been
guy.
Too. Yep.
Yeah, that grew, that developed. They coached him the right way. He became this big-time superstar. And for the Eagles, they invest in the offensive side of the ball. Seattle never did. You know, they weren't doing first-round pick after first-round pick, drafting a million wide receivers and throwing the dice to see who sticks. It was always like, let's get linebackers and secondary and all those different things. The money went into the defense, and Russ had to carry the offense every single year. So get that guy that you wanted, that you believe in, that you want to build around and have for a decade. We'll do that now and get those other pieces with whatever picks you have left. Put those things around Russell Wilson. By the way, Vince, the pass catchers aren't that good. Devontae Smith, not good enough. Well, let me tell you, John, a couple of guys that are on the market. For example, Devontae Adams. He's going to be on the market. Chris Godwin is going to be on the market. Allen Robinson is going to be on the market. So you can get Russell Wilson, a top-of-the-line wide receiver, Devontae Smith, your offensive line.
Whoa. Where's all this money coming from?
They've got like $30 million because for next year.
Russell Wilson's going to take up all of that. Then what?
He's about 25. So he's about $26 million next year. Again, this can happen. This is a real thing that can happen because you have about $21 million right now in cap space. You carry that over. They've got about $9 million for next year. So you combine all of that. You do a Howie Roseman restructure or two. You're going to have $50 million. I was playing around a cap calculator last night at like 5 in the morning.
We're trusting Vince with math? Oh,
yeah,
God.
well, it's somebody else's math.
God,
I just click the buttons.
Okay,
and they do the math for me. But it was around $50 million I got to pretty easy. All it took was 1 or 2 restructures. So you can do all of this. You can have a top-of-the-line offense and a legitimate Super Bowl contender next year with Russell Wilson, and maybe you give up the Dolphins pick, Jalen Hurts, and something else. Because, again, thinking about Seattle and what they've been through, they're going to want a quarterback back. The draft class sucks. Your other options are Deshaun Watson, which, yuck, and Aaron Rodgers, which, is Seattle going to get Aaron Rodgers? They have the ammunition for that? Probably not. And if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm going somewhere else anyway. So, looking at what the Eagles' options are.
Devontae goes?
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe. And
which is here.
And if that happens, I'll take that too. But primarily thinking about the window, right? Because Russell Wilson, he's going to be 34 next year. He'll turn 34 November of next year. He turns 33 in a month. So you have a window where he can age gracefully with his mobility, but his arm talent. He's going to be able to play for a number of years and still be an effective quarterback. So, yeah, he's 34, but we see these guys right now. Aaron Rodgers, 39, 40. Tom Brady, 5,000. You know, for all of these older guys, he's going to be able to play well late. He's not going to be Ben Roethlisberger where he can't throw the ball 5 yards. So when you're making the risk, you're getting a guy that, yes, is older, but the window is really, 4 or 5 years? Anything can happen in that amount of time. That's a smart bet. It's a safe bet. And Russell Wilson is the guy. He's the guy.
All right, so to recap, and these would have been much better headlines. Rolls out and gets 27-2. He's healthy as an ox, an Eagles killer. You complete the process for the prophecy that he gave in 2012 when you should have went and got him. And the fifth one was?
You can go and get top talent around him.
And like you can go get top talent.
You can do that right now, and he'll age well.
Oh, man, for what it's going to cost you to get Russell, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Yes.
For what it's going to cost you to get Russell Wilson, I'm saying no.
Oh, okay. Why? What is too much for Russell Wilson? What's too much?
His age and his money. Because although Vince Quinn has a great plan, and that out you can get, if you're going to trade for this guy, he is going to want to restructure. And he is, I believe, probably has a ton of say in where he's going to go and play or not. And if not, his agent will. This is where a Ben Simmons like move does work. Like you can plan and say, I'm not doing anything until you get me out of here. And Aaron Rodgers did the same thing this year. And Kirk Cousins basically did the same thing. Every quarterback knows the game now. There is not a chance in hell that Russell Wilson wants to play here. Not one.
Doesn't have to.
Not one chance. He'll go play for San Francisco. And they'll go kick Jimmy out, and you can groom and you can groom Trey Lance for as long as you want to. And Kyle Shanahan and him, just like here's what I think is happening. I think Russell cannot wait to get to Kyle Shanahan.
Oh man.
You don't have to move. You don't have to leave. They know there's quarterback problems. You know that they went and tried to get Tom Brady, and Kyle Shanahan would give his child to have Russell Wilson run his offense and do all that. So he's gonna go where he wants to go, and it's not here. So I'm sorry. That's the number one biggest reason too. As much as you're right with everything else that you said, it's not gonna help the long term of this team.
Why not?
It's just not. Like,
if you have a 5-year window.
Unless I know, there's no way Russell Wilson's playing here for 5 years.
Why not?
He's not playing till he's 39 here.
Why not?
I just don't buy it.
You get him in, you give him the contract, you have him for 5 years, great.
If that guarantees me he does HGH and gets away with it, cool.
We'll write that into the contract. I'm going to call him up right now.
It is.
Let's DM Russell Wilson. Yo, when you come to the Eagles
avocados.
and take HGH, we would love for you to come to the Eagles and take HGH.
Yeah. If we can do that, I'm good. I am so good. But everything else, I'm taking those first-round picks because we have already learned this. You need great quarterbacks, and you need them to be cheap, and you need 2 of them. You just do. Like, you need 2. If I'm assuming, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask the most important question. Is Jalen Hurts here or not?
No, he's not here. He goes to Seattle.
And then I'm out.
It makes it easier. I mean, it's going to save you some value of draft capital because you have no idea what he is this year. The Eagles, the fact that, like we just talked about, nothing's changed for him in terms of the evaluation. I mean, it might as well have just been watching the same 4 games from last year on repeat because nothing's changed. So to make that argument to Seattle, hey, like, Sirianni sucks. We fired this clown. We've got a new coach in, whoever that is, and this guy's available and you can build him the same way you did with Russell Wilson. That's a sell. They get 2 years of a quarterback on a second-round contract. So you go that plus the Dolphins pick, which thinking about the Dolphins pick, right now it's 3, okay?
Ooh, baby.
Now, it's probably not going to be 3, but if it is, right, teams that are ahead of the Eagles right now, Detroit needs a quarterback, could easily take a guy at one.
Literally got called out by the head coach. By the way, we can retract all statements about being wrong about Jared Goff. I found a tweet from 2018 suggesting that we're back. By the way, Jared, just from me to you, the sun still sets in the west, brother. So go ahead.
Yeah. So that's one. And then two is Houston right now, which they're going to trade Watson. They're going to need a quarterback. So you're not – are there three good – even if one or two guys do emerge by the end of the season as being legitimate top-line guys, are there three of them? Like, you're not getting a quarterback with the Dolphins pick. You're just not. So if you can use the Dolphins pick, Hurts, and something else to go and get Russell Wilson for a couple of years, that is the easiest decision I've ever made in my life.
Man, if you're telling me I've got to give up, like, in this deal, I'm giving up Hurts, probably the Miami pick for sure.
Yep.
And what else? Probably more firsts?
Maybe a future first. You might go with a 2022 or in that case 2023 first.
Look what the Rams had to give just for Matt Stafford.
Well, part of that was because of Jared Goff, right? Like they took that
what's the
changed
difference?
the deal. But his contract.
What's the difference between you're saying the same thing? I mean, like, Hurts is cheaper, but his talent is much worse than Russell Wilson. You just said that yourself.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
So, I don't think Seattle would view him. I don't know what Seattle views him long term, but I doubt they're going to be
out there either. Like the draft is limited. Seattle's going to draft in the middle, so they're not going to get a quarterback either. And then free agents. There's nobody that's a free agent.
Then
that's
I'm
available.
not. If I'm Seattle, then I am standing my ground and saying good luck, because you've got 2 good years of Russell Wilson. You want to go be a free agent and do the Tom Brady thing? Then you fucking sit and wait too. Because I'm not moving you. Like I don't see it happening, and if the opportunity's there, I don't think it's worth it in the long run.
Oh yeah, I've got a saw in my left hand right now, and my leg is going. I will give it up for Russell Wilson. I love watching that guy play. He's one of the best players I've ever seen. I mean, he is a walking, breathing Hall of Famer right now, and he's 33 years old.
Yeah.
So to get him for a couple of years, a guy that they've wanted, the kind of play style that can work anywhere. That's a slam dunk, man. He's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL.
No, he is. He is. I'm not even debating like he's going to fall off or the injury or whatever. He's going to be phenomenal wherever he goes. But it ain't going to be here, and
it's going to be.
You gotta.
It's going to be here. Just give it time.
I would rather have someone else, and this is a possibility now. I would rather have not Howie Roseman there, a stable of picks, and Jeffrey Lurie to just literally open it up and go, I've got a stable of picks. I need a new GM. I need a new head coach. And I need you to go find me whatever it is you need to go find. Go find me a couple of quarterbacks. Go find me the best coach that can, coach this talent, and so on and so forth. So I'm standing my ground.
Well, yeah. So just give it time, John. In 3 weeks from now, you're going to be dreaming about Russell Wilson handing off to Marlon Mack. And it's going to be the most beautiful thought you've ever had in your life. But speaking of other beautiful thoughts.
What we literally had the same segue words ready. It's unbelievable. Yes. Please tell everyone.
So speaking of beautiful thoughts, your beautiful thoughts have come through on the tiers for supporting the show. So cheesesteak tours. We're going to get together. And who signed up for the cheesesteak tour? Ian,
Mr.
right?
Ian Toledo, which we were. Thank you, Ian. It is the correct pronunciation.
So take it off the list.
We apparently nailed it. So yes.
Okay. So
back down to 22.5.
Yeah, and then I'm at 0. So so good for me. But yeah, cheesesteak tour. So going around town eating cheesesteaks with Ian. That's what we're going to be doing. Some of these creative, goofy ideas are from our heads. My bathwater is for sale right now because it was just funny. There's a lot of crazy things on the tiers. We appreciate all the support so far with all of that, by the way, because for us to do this show and support all the writers like Matt Maratea, who's featured in the newsletter today, all of that stuff comes from your support. That's where all 100%. Of the money goes. So that's what's going to make this whole thing run. And for all the support so far, it's been fantastic. And that's why we want to take this up a notch a little bit. So one of the things that we have up on the website right now, T-shirts. So you can support the show 2 different ways. One, if you're interested in pre-ordering a shirt on itself, because, hey, we know $100 is a lot. No problem. You can go and just get a shirt. They're $30. It's going to be a nice shirt, and we're going to be printing those real soon. That includes
shipping, by the way. It's $25 retail, and then they add shipping on. We do a flat rate of like $4 or $5. So, and then we can ship it right out to you, all in pre-order mode. We should have those ready to rock and roll by the first or second week in November. There are 2 pre-orders in there, and we appreciate that as well. So that is definitely a way we can you can help support the show.
Yep.
And actually, Vince, for our YouTube and Twitch audience, I got to go run and get this box because I'm going to up it a notch.
Yes.
Describe what I told you when I came in today and realized that I'll tell you this. My parents moved back east from Iowa, so we're all in the little same town, same complex. They're amazing people, babysitters, and they have kept a lot of really cool shit from my childhood. So I want to include this in the tier, and I just want to kind of show you some of the stuff that's in here, and I'll describe it to you.
Yeah, so John's going to go and get the box, and it was great because I walk into the studio, and I just see all these papers and pictures and toy cars and all this different junk. It was just not junk, but all this different fun stuff. It's all over the place, and he's just like, yeah, man, like this is my childhood in a box, basically. Yeah. And so, yeah, John, let's take out some of these things and run through some of this stuff.
So, like, all of the tiers are yearly memberships. So that's why we like to make it a little different. It would include a T-shirt, which we just said in the pre-order.
Yep.
It would include one of our famous bells that we use during game day. And I need you to determine where you want this on the tier because I'll put it on there. Like, I will give you all of that stuff we just mentioned plus one item out of John's childhood memories, which this one just says, like, this is about my special pet from second grade.
That looks like...
And it's in there.
Yeah. So,
or you could get something really cool, like an authentic, I believe McDonald's branded Back to the Future toy of Doc hanging out of the DeLorean that used to spark up and go. And yes, that will be included in your tier. What else? There's photos in here. There's stuff from ex-girlfriends. There's lots of weird... Some generally interesting figurines, like original Star Wars 1980-ish, 1983 figurines that are still hanging out in here. The Batmobile. I forget what the McDonald's moon guy was, but
which I've never seen before in my life. I've never seen the moon guy.
There's literally me in a Yankees uniform from Little League. That's just a
traitor.
Exactly.
Clearly not a Philly guy, John Barchard.
So you tell me where that belongs on the tier. I'll put it up there, and I will send you something from my childhood memorabilia box that also includes baseball cards. I found a 91 Fleer Bo Jackson card in there. I'm so
cool.
jacked. It's probably worth $0. But, yeah, that's the type of stuff. That's the type of fun stuff we like to do with the membership tiers.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, again, if you're interested in that, there's a couple of ways you can reach out to us. You can DM us on Twitter. info@bellandthebirdmen.com is our email. We've got a Discord. You can join the Discord and message us there. And 215-509-5833. That is our text line.
Absolutely. And if you forget any of that, it's all in the description of this podcast with links, our store, and all that fun stuff there. Before we go, I have to say this out loud. I am enjoying the drama already with Joel Embiid calling out Ben Simmons. That's for another podcast, and go listen to Porter, who his podcast, Ball, if you want a solid breakdown on that. But it just got me thinking. If you missed any of this stuff and you're not familiar with it, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons basically have had it at this point. Embiid called him out, and there is way more drama like this in the NFL. And they're putting a cap on it, and I hate it because the NBA does all the things right about boosting it because they need the attention. We know they're number 2. Everybody thinks at one point I even think they're going to overtake the NFL. It's not happening. But the NFL has so much great shit talking in it, and you would never know it.
Yeah,
like it has. And you see like even Aaron Rodgers recently is like, "Hey, I'm mic'd up. Don't say anything around me. I'm mic'd up. Man, give me the unfiltered shit. Give me DBs calling out quarterbacks and vice versa. And there was another clip that was going around not too long ago right before the Bucks game, and I think it was Tom Brady on LeBron's show on HBO, which the name is the Shop or whatever it is.
The Shop.
And he's sitting there going, man, 90% of the shit I'm thinking or saying during a press conference, the total opposite of how I feel. And I'm going, just say that then. You know how much more fun this league would be if you've got Tom Brady going like, oh, yeah, that DB sucks. I can't wait to throw against you. I'm in your fucking head. The fact that Aaron Rodgers was calling out Bears fans and everybody lit up and it was a conversation, that doesn't happen often enough. Please give me the drama. We're all grown-ups. It's the digital age. We've all heard those words before.
Yeah.
Obviously don't play the John Gruden stuff, but play the hits, man. That I love that. I would love if there was more NBA drama in the NFL.
Soap operas are good for the league, right? Aaron Rodgers, will he play for the Packers? Will he won't? Drove the whole offseason. Russell Wilson for a little bit, which is why he'll be an Eagle. He was driving that a little bit because he didn't want to play there. And there are all the rumors that came out. That kind of stuff does make the league so much better. Remember a couple of years ago where Shady and Osi Umenyiora were going at it?
Yes.
And there was the overrated and soft stuff. And then I
Yes.
think Shady's head was put on a teddy bear and that was tweeted out. Like, all that kind of shit was so great because everybody got in on it then. And then when the Eagles play the Giants, there's this beef. There's this history. It's good for the broadcast, because they can say, Al Michaels during the game, take out his flip phone and be like, yeah, looking back in the notes, and go over the OC and Shady stuff. So, do more of that, please. Unfortunately, the NFL is scared to death of it. Roger Goodell and Middle America and all the pearl clutching over some guy talking shit.
Enough with enough with the Middle of America stuff,
That's
all right?
exactly what it is.
I'm a Middle of America person. I hate it too, all right?
Well, then
that's
you
all
agree
I'm
with
saying.
me. You agree with me then.
you.
Stop pearl clutching, Middle America. But by the way, where are you getting all those pearls from? It's a recession. You know what I mean? We're in a pandemic. Where are you getting these
Midwesterners
pearls?
don't have pearls. I just want to point that out too.
All right. Well, then what are they? Stop clutching
holding
your
on to
corn cob pipes. Yeah, how about that? Everyone smokes corn cob pipes in the Midwest, right?
That's what I'm saying. That whole thing is just a straw person argument anyway, because it acts as if it's protecting Middle America. It's not protecting us at all. Everybody's on the same page. It's a made up thing. That's what I mean. It's not. They don't care. Obviously,
the drama is.
I
good.
saw them yelling at Penn State fans to get up, you piece of shit, and you're faking an injury. They don't care. They love that stuff. We all love it. Give us the drama.
Give us the drama.
Give us the drama and make Amazon Prime and all those other dumb shows that are just basically. When I was growing up, oh my God, I'm saying it. When I was growing up, because we're going through the memorabilia box,
Yes.
right? And I guarantee you there's one of these tapes in my parents' basement. I'll include it in the memorabilia box if it's there. But the original NFL films with Lawrence Taylor bleeping out everything and saying, I'm going to come get you, motherfucker, and stab you in the neck. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All of that stuff it's not the same anymore. It's just kind of like, oh, JJ Watt said fuck. It's more like, it's instead of like, wow, this is getting me into it.
I know, and that is what attaches you to people. It's the personality and letting these guys be themselves. But the NFL, and it's not just Goodell and the owners, but every GM, coach, whatever, they just do everything in their power to just suck all of that out and keep everybody as quiet as possible. I mean, honestly, you have to appreciate how good they are at it, right?
No, because it goes to fucked up lengths vis-a-vis those 650,000 emails. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
as big as that, or as simple as the taunting rule, which is now here, which is basically what we're talking about.
And that's part of it too. They clamp down on this in so many ways all the time. The way they outlawed celebrations in general, just for
and then
years.
Brought them back, and now we're like. Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're still trying to tamp it down a little. So it's just they live in this space where they just try to be like, football is this very clean cut, crew cut, white dress down shirt, black tie, they worked for NASA in the 60s. Everybody's supposed to look and act like that and just be this face of model humanity. And they're not. Let them be real people. It's way more exciting. People still love wrestling. Lean into it.
Yes. I have proof. There's a whole new wrestling organization that didn't exist 2 years ago, and now it's one of the most popular in the land. Yeah. So, yes, please stop acting as if you know what we want. I know JC, and the whole JC thing's a stretch anyway. It's for another topic around the Super Bowl. But that being said, what did we learn today? We learned, one, I do believe that Jalen does not like Nick Sirianni. And that's just more and more evident as each week and each press conference goes by. Vince is going to try hard. And you probably are too. I can hear you right now on the text line, 215-509-5833. John, you're a moron. Take Russell Wilson and figure it out later.
Yep.
You're probably right. We've got T-shirts. We've got tees. We've got NFL drama that we need. And we have got plenty of Liquid Death. And you can go find some at liquiddeath.com. Get it for Halloween. It's an exciting time. Send the best reactions. Actually, we'll send you a free case. How about that?
Sure.
We will pick a winner if you film yourself giving Liquid Death to trick-or-treaters, because I think that's fun. And more importantly, if you like this show and you are doing this yourself or thinking about doing this yourself as a podcaster, live streamer, YouTuber, Twitch person, et cetera, or just want to be a better broadcaster, lastoutmedia.com. That's where we record all of our shows. Vince is a whiz, and that's pretty much all you need to know. He is a whiz at figuring stuff out and unplugging what everybody kind of tangles together.
Well, yeah, and that's what we do here. And honestly, you might be thinking, well, I have an Eagles show. Can I possibly work with you guys? We're competition. No, like, come over.
There
come
is no
say
competition
hi.
here.
Yeah, so we don't see it like that. I mean, there's other sports shows that are here at the studio.
And they suck. Oh, sorry.
It's right. Fuck you guys. No, but like we bring them on the show, and during the live stream, we mix them in with us because it's all about growing people, developing them, let the public see them, and let them build their own market. So if you think you're that next person, come say hi, lastoutmedia.com.
Until Thursday for a big, I don't even want to call it Raiders preview. It's just a Vegas chaos, and actually we're looking for a beat reporter on site that can just give us the play-by-play. We don't care about what happens inside the building. Well, a little bit. But the outside of the building is what we really care about with the Eagles fans invading Vegas this week. Can't wait to talk to you again on Thursday. Stuff, baby.
You got like a Justin Guarini vibe going on.
Oh,
like
Justin Guarini.
Like the tiny Dr. Pepper guy.
Is that the dude from
American Idol? He lost year one to Kelly Clarkson.
Oh yeah,
American Idol.
That dude's from here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't he from Bucks County?
Yeah, he's a Philly guy.
Didn't he have really shitty curly hair?
Yeah, big orange curly hair, and what
there was a girl I dated that dated him. Yeah, so we're like
Eskimo
twins.
brothers. There you go. Look at that.
Hey, Susie, how are you? That's so funny.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
my brother, I mean, like, I think everybody's brother has a story. If you were in Bucks County, like, you knew Pink or went on a date with her.
Okay, yeah.
But my brother actually did go on a date with Pink.
Wow.
Yeah, they were, it just like one date, it was fine. And that was that.
It was just him in his hand that night.
Him and his, yeah.
Bam.
Hey. Gross. All I can think about is my fucking brother jerking off. Thanks.
I can put worse images in your head if you'd like.
Well, no, we're good there.
All right, we'll stop.